Good morning and welcome to Cloud Sports Network's coverage of the final week of the AFCSL season. We are at Ingold Park in Fallbrook, California. My name is Joel Trambley and I am here with Jeff Prott announcing our first game, the Vengeance versus the Brokeback Bears.
Joel, good to see you. Happy to be here in Fallbrook. This is my first time up at these fields. Not sure what we have in store today as far as wind and how the field conditions are, but excited to see some softball today.
It is also my first time up here. We have used these fields for a tournament in the past, but this is our first week playing in the open section up here. We are about to get ready with Neil Kovrig as our umpire. Again, our game today is going to be the C Division Vengeance, who will be the visiting team, against the Brokeback Bears, one of our new clinic teams in the C Division. They will be the home team. Manager Roman Jimenez is coming out on the field, and we can see the Brokeback Bears as the home team taking the field.
Overcast here, 60 degrees. Looking at the forecast on the iPhone, if that's trustworthy, might see some light rain here in the next 40 minutes or so. So hopefully it doesn't impact this game, but should be fairly brief. Don't want to play softball in the rain. That could be a little dangerous.
For folks who might be used to baseball, softball, there are going to be 10 players on the field. Usually the lineup is going to be a pitcher, a catcher, 4 infielders, and 4 outfielders. Sometimes that 10th player is moved on to the infield. We do not have a rule against shifts, so we are able to deploy that defense however the teams would like to. The hitters will begin with a 1-1 count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So if you see somebody get a strike and then a foul ball, that's going to be an out if you're wondering how they didn't get up to 3. They're going to throw the ball around a little bit to practice the defense, take a few warm-up pitches, and then we should be able to get underway here on our first game on Field 1. We are just getting the lineups here from the Bears, so we'll do the best we can to let you know who your friends and family who are playing are when they're up at the bat or when they make an outstanding play. Umpires getting back behind the plate. It looks like we're about to get started here. And our leadoff batter is going to be number 5 for Vengeance. This is David Lewis. David Lewis is a long-term player in AFCSL, a member of the Hall of Fame over the past few years. I think you know him well, Jeff.
Yeah, I can, for clarity's sake, I can say I've played against and with David in the B Division for a long, long time.
And that first pitch is a ball, so it's a 2-1 count to Lewis.
If David is going right, and he usually is, he's certainly talented, but he's a good hitter. He can poke it down the right field line.
Strike over the outside corner. 2-2. So here, a foul ball in our league would be an out. It would be a third strike and an out. There is no extra swing from a foul ball. Nice play out there.
Heck of a reaction by that left fielder. As soon as that ball was off the bat, he was moving already and jumped to his left and left his feet.
So that's going to be a line drive out to the left field. We have one out. Coming up to the plate is Adam Day, number 14, the number 2 batter.
Adam is another player who played with David and myself in the B Division for several years.
Deep fly ball out to right center. Gets under it, catches it easily. That'll be 2 down. That will bring up the number 3 hitter, number 18, Keith Berglund. Keith is another longtime member of AFCSL. First pitch inside for a ball, counts 2-1.
Aptly hitting third in the lineup because this guy can hit. And deservedly so. He was a nominee for the Hall of Fame this year.
Another ball out to right center. This one's got a little more carry, but gets it in the glove. That'll be 3 up, 3 down, and we'll go to the bottom of the first with the score still 0-0. So, Jeff, you mentioned a B division. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the B division, unfortunately, is not as large as it was before. The other sports are coming around and whatnot. There's been some changes at the national level of some of the rules and whatnot. But the B division in San Diego, when I first joined, had 8 teams. This was the early 2000s. I was the manager and played on the Loft, which we formed in 2010, and several of the players that I'm seeing on the Vengeance team have played with us. We've got Brian Burnett out there, Adam Day, David Lewis, Sean LeClaire played with us in a tournament. The B division hopefully we'll make a return with some players soon at the national level. It's really exciting brand of baseball, or softball. Some of these teams, they can hit the ball as hard as I've seen in any U-Trip tournament. So, again, the C division, the D division are the majority in softball, but the B division, the A division, that is some fantastic softball to watch if you get a chance to do it. I used to coach a D team, as you know, because you were on that team.
I was.
And I had the D boys watch some of these B and A games and say, you know what, these are some of the things that I hope that you guys will eventually learn how to do. It's remarkable talent, more talented than I ever had. So.
All right, so we're going to start the bottom of the first inning. This is Robert from the Brokeback Bears. Pitcher is Roman Jimenez from Cloud Sports Network. Foul ball down the left field line. Interestingly, Robert talked to you last week at one of our events, and he would be excited to find a B team again here in San Diego. And as you can tell, has some life in the bat. Very fast around the bases, even though he's their catcher.
So do we see the Roman Jimenez curveball here?
The first pitch looked like it moved a little bit inside. We'll see what he's got here with the backflip. We'll call that a high strike. So the strike zone in softball for slow pitch is meant to be between 6 and 12 feet. If it's above 12 feet, it should be called illegal. If it's below 6 feet, it should be called illegal. That one had to be at the high end of the strike zone.
I would agree with that. It's subjective. We're also at a high perch here in our broadcast booth, so I'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt, but at first look, it looked a little high.
And ball one. That's ball one to Tito. Strike that kind of curves back from the outside part of the plate in.
For those watching, if the ball lands on the plate, that is not a strike. It needs to go behind the plate.
Grounder up the middle to the pitcher. Second baseman fields it and throws the first in time. So that's going to be, I believe, 6-3 on the putout off of, or 1-6-3.
Okay. I've got a 1-6-3 on that one. So good job by Adam at shortstop, reacting to the deflection off Roman's glove. That could have gone anywhere. Unfortunately, it went straight to him.
So 2 down already in the bottom of the first. Number 3 batter, I'm not sure his last name actually is Whiteclaw. And a fly ball into short left field, going to drop for the first base hit of the game.
Tough play for the shortstop on that one. That's really not his ball. He'd like to see left center fielder probably thought the shortstop had that ball, but generally as an outfielder you want to take charge and call somebody off. Fortunately for the hitter and unfortunately for the defense, it landed between them.
So cleanup hitter comes to the plate. First pitch over the inside. Brokeback Bears, new team this year. I don't think they have hats yet, so actually what he's wearing is the hat that was from the Padres out of the park night this year, I believe. So the umpire putting his arm out there, straight horizontal, shows that that was an illegal pitch. So the batter did not need to swing at that. It was a ball automatically. Tough hop, and that's going to get out to the outfield. Runner to go into third. Looks like he's going to make it without a play. So now first and third with 2 down for the Brokeback Bears.
That's one of those do-or-die grounders where if you don't get there in time to cut off that hop, you just have to hope that you find your glove. That's a tough play. Especially with this, nobody having played on these fields, you don't know what kind of bounces off this dirt you're getting here.
All right, this is number 13, the number 5 hitter. I believe it's Metcalf. Another one that curves in nicely over the outside corner. 1-2. Up the middle, this time Roman gets it in his glove, over to first. So no runs scored, couple hits in the inning. We're gonna go into the top of the second inning with the score still 0-0.
Typical Roman there with 2 strikes, got the batter to chase on a little bit of an outside pitch. That's smart pitching right there.
So we are very excited to have sponsorship for Cloud Sports Network's coverage of the softball games in the AFC CSL today. Our sponsor this morning for the first game is Gilead. Gilead is the makers of the PrEP medication Descovy. Thanks to a generous contribution from Gilead earlier this year, the AFCSL has launched a new page on our website to celebrate the lives of those in our league that were cut short due to the AIDS pandemic. Anyone in the community is able to add to the page with photos and stories of folks who used to take the field. With this new page, we are able to reclaim our history while remembering those who paved the way. For more information, visit afcsl.org and click on In Memoriam. Again, that's from our sponsor, Gilead. We are about to start the top of the second inning with number 25, Joseph Mendoza, the cleanup hitter, leading off. First pitch to Mendoza. Low and inside, hit very deep, but foul.
My eyes tricked me there. At first I thought foul ball for sure, but then that was pretty close.
So in the C division, you are allowed to hit a home run. 1 per game. In the B division, they were allowed to have more back in the day. Little swing this time, bounces off the shortstop, goes out into short left field. Mendoza limping down the sideline. Looks like he might have had an injury, which is maybe why he was trying to get the home run.
Adam in to run for Mendoza. Adam's got decent speed. Smart base runner, very smart base runner.
So this is another rule that's different between softball and baseball. Once per inning, you can substitute for any runner, but you can only do it once. This is Sean Leclerc, number 5 hitter.
Sean's a guy who will be very patient at the plate. He'll look for a pitch he can drive to right field, which would help Adam go at least to third base on a hit.
Well inside on that pitch. First pitch looked like it must have gone a little bit long. That one inside, so 3-1.
Sean's going to be hoping for a pitch on the outside, but he does walk a lot. He walked a lot against me when I was pitching.
Instead, rips it into the 5.5 hole out to left field. Coming in quickly. Runner's going to stay at second, so they're going to have first and second with nobody out here to start the second inning. That's going to bring up number 7, Jake Bowers.
A lot of veteran talent on this Vengeance team. A lot of World Series appearances between these guys. Some tournament victories in places like Vegas and whatnot.
And the ball hit out to right center. Looks like Day running for Mendoza is going to score. Leclerc to third. And Bowers on first with a single. RBI single.
Smart base running by Adam at second base. He turned, looked, made sure the line drive was not going to be caught before moving, and he still had the speed to get there. So
this is Anthony Pineda. And a strike again with might be a little bit of wind going that way. Not much, but both pitchers are sort of starting over the outside corner to the right-handed batters and then bringing it back over the plate. Pineda up the middle for a base hit. That'll score Leclerc. Bowers chugging over to third. Looks like he's going to make it without a throw. And it is 2-0 in favor of the Vengeance.
That's always tough on a pitcher. Having you and I both have been pitchers in this league for a long time, and you longer than me, I believe. And you get that ball shot right back up in the middle. It's just a reaction play. Tough play.
And when they're low, it's even harder. Sometimes it's easier to catch the ones at your body that are in the air, because the one thing I will say that's hard about wearing a mask, which I started doing a few years ago, is sometimes if it catches it right in the bar, those low ones can be hard to get.
Gotta use your foot and just hope.
Strike on the inside quarter. Roman, well known for plays with his feet from the pitching mound. I have seen a kick out to first base. Ripped to left field. That'll score Bowers easily. Pineda to second, and a base hit. That was Rico Garcia, number 11. Now 3-0, and that should bring up Darren Bishop. Some of these folks have played with Roman through many different names. Vengeance, which used to be Quake, which used to be the Lawmen. You can probably the Lawmen invented to catch the Outlaws, who were a dominant team in the league for years.
I remember their old logo.
That's a strike over the outside corner to Bishop.
That was quite a battle back in the early 2010s. Outlaws and Lawmen.
Low and inside, definitely trying to get him to swing at something bad for that third strike. It was a fun time. The Outlaws in green and then pink. Up the middle for a base hit. Pineda coming around to score. Garcia chugging in behind him. Pineda will score, single by Bishop, and Rico Garcia will be the first out of the inning, coming around trying to score at home plate. So we're going to have Bishop at first, 4 runs in, and pitcher, manager, and broadcast lead Roman Jimenez coming to the plate.
Nice play by the catcher there, holding tight with a runner barreling down on him like that, and the throw was a little offline.
Oh, beautiful. Stay in.
Roman just fouled, pretty much at this stage known as a place hitter. Probably not going to rip a home run on you.
Here's the thing about Roman. I mean, he's smart. I mean, more often than not, he's going to poke it down the right field line, but then just when you shift over, he can pull it through the hole at the 5.5 hole.
So we'll see what kind of adjustment, if any, they make. Probably bring, the right fielder's coming in quite a bit now.
So here, if I'm the left field, well, you singled the left in the previous game, I'd be watching for a little poke to left field now.
Gets an outside pitch, tries for right field again, and he will be out on strikes. So that's the second out of the inning.
Good thing I'm not in the prediction business.
I think it was a pretty good guess, but so with 2 down, that'll bring Michael Meyer up. Nice little poke, drops.
Oh no!
Left center fielder losing his footing. Staying down, ball's coming into the infield. We will check everything, and then hopefully the left center fielder is okay.
You could hear him immediately scream when his foot hit into something. There could be divots out there. I don't know if there's gopher holes or what, but man, I hope he's okay.
No, looks like he's going to need some help. I got a bad feeling you're right, Jeff. There's probably a hole or something, and that looked like an ankle that could be sprained. Hopefully no worse than tweaked or sprained. We've had a number of injuries. It's got to be very hard for the coach, Tito, who broke his leg earlier this year himself and was just able to get back before the end of the season. So everybody's okay to pause this while they sort this out. Meyer to second, Bishop to third. Meyer was the bottom batter in the order, so that's going to bring David Lewis back up. Brian Burnett with the scorebook, another Vengeance player and former manager.
Vengeance team acknowledging the severity of the injury and giving them some applause. You hate to see this. It's recreational softball, the final week of the season. You don't want to see it any time, but these guys are just having fun out there.
So it looks like the Bears do not have a sub, so they are going to be playing shorthanded with 9, which means they'll only have 3 outfielders. The speedy catcher has gone out to center field to play.
This opens up a whole world of strategy choice by the manager here. depending on who the batters are, how well you know them, whatnot, I might be pulling an infielder and putting him in the outfield, playing a rover, all sorts of options.
Pitch to Lewis, shot into left field for a base hit. Bishop coming in, Meyer going to stop it. And Meyer going to stop at third. Lewis will stop at first. And by my count, that's 5 runs in, 2 down, and 2 on. Yeah, and one of the unfortunate rules in the league that we've talked about changing is if you play with 9 players, having started with 10, when that spot in the lineup comes up, it's an automatic out. That one shot into right center, and the gap created by the fact that they only have 3 outfielders, that's going to bring Meyer around. Lewis stopping at third, and Day going into second. I mean, there's good reasons for that rule, but it just, when you lose a player to an injury and have to take an out every time, it just seems to be adding the awful.
That is a tough break. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the rule was they only get it out the first time through the lineup.
We will see what Neil Kovrig does, but I believe it's every time through the lineup.
Great piece of hitting there by Adam, recognizing the open spaces there. Adam did that for my team for several years, and just smart hitting. This Vengeance team's got a lot of smart hitters. A lot of their hits have been right up the middle. Can't defend that.
Berglund fouling it off to the right side. This is Berglund's second at bat. He had a fly out in the first inning. That pitch illegal, too low, never broke what was the 6-foot mark. Most of the umpires try to think about a spot that they see on the horizon or on the fence that's about 6 feet and use that as a marker. Another fly ball to Berglund out to center field, tracking it, and makes the play. So the Vengeance bat around that inning, score 6 with 2 left on. And then we'll flip it over, and the Brokeback Bears will be coming up for the second half of the second inning, trailing 6-0. So as we mentioned earlier, this is AFCSL softball. That is America's finest city softball league. Established in 1981, the AFCSL is San Diego's oldest and largest LGBTQ sports organization with a commitment to fair play and diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. The AFCSL takes all skill levels, whether you were born with a ball in your hand or don't know the difference between a home run and a touchdown. Our new season starts in September, so why not join us now? Visit afcsl.org to find out how. You know, when you've been here a while, you get used to AFCSL, but when I first moved to this city and was looking for a gay softball league, it took me a little while to find it. I had to call the commissioner from San Francisco, where I had played for a year, and they hooked me up with Tom Abbas to get me on a team, who was the commissioner back then.
There's a guy who will know.
And Abbas back playing this year for Sabor. We'll see him later today.
We will. Another Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame person as well.
First pitch, the bottom of the second, I believe, hits the plate for a ball.
The great thing about AFCSL is that it offers a fall league, which is not quite as competitive, just a chance to get your feet wet.
Let's see, nice rip, but looked like it might hit a gap, but left fielder over to make the catch for the first out.
AFCSL has a fall season that's 5 weeks long, is that right?
It has traditionally been 5 weeks long. We got some feedback this past year that was too short, so they are actually looking right now at adding a 6th and or 7th week to fall ball for this season. That's a grounder to the shortstop. Throws over to first. Cotton makes the play. 6-3 on the putout, second out of the inning.
Traditionally, what fall ball is great for, especially if you're new to the league, is a chance to meet some people, both LGBT and allies, and you get a chance to get known around the league. The spring is the one which is a little more competitive because people are vying for World Series bursts mostly. Not everybody cares about that, but a lot of people do.
Swings on the first pitch, touched foul. That'll be a foul ball, 1-2 count. It is. The fall ball is sometimes more fun and less competitive. There's been a lot of discussion lately as some teams use it to kind of gel, get together, try out new players, get ready for the tournaments, including our own Autumn Classic. Some people would like to use it more for a league melding with a draft or something like that to get the teams and players mixed up to know a few more people. Pitch swung on high. Rico back over the right center fielder's head. Looks like we're going to have a double here going into second base. Gets there with no throw. So that will be a double to second, or double to center. And the Brokeback Bears with a little something going here with 2 down.
My scorebook might be off because I had.
Swings at a high pitch. That's going to get down. Runner on second coming in. Day goes to second. No play at the plate. That's going to take the lid off for the Bears. They're going to get their first run in, and the score is now 6-1.
He's my favorite player on that team. He's always such a good guy.
And that's going to bring us back up to Robert at the top of the lineup. First pitch. Inside.
4, 9, 24, 11, 13, 10, 64, 1. It's fine. Let him bat.
Robert a little choked up here on the bat. Okay, so there was an out there, and the umpire's call was, in softball, you are not allowed to lead off the bag. So he saw the runner on first off the bag as the pitch was thrown, which was an out correctly.
Tough way to end an inning, but glad that you were able to get a run on the board.
Tough way to end the inning. Now, what I don't know for sure is the runner was out, not the batter. So Robert will still be up at the beginning of the next half inning, correct?
That's correct. And the replay did confirm that the runner was off the base at the time of the pitch.
So a tough call, but a correct call. And we are going to go to the top of the third inning with Vengeance leading 6-1. And this is going to be Joseph Mendoza leading it off.
The home plate umpire for this game, Neil Kovarig, used to actually play for the Baja Betty's team that you were a part of. Remember, Neil played for a year and then decided umpiring was more his thing, and he has grown as an umpire and is now seen as a leader in San Diego in the umpire world.
And if you know anything about Neil, it fits. He is also a football referee and was the head ref for the SDAFFL championship game yesterday, and is a member of some American Association of Parliamentarians.
Now, there's a fun fact.
I would never deign to claim I could do a fun fact, Jeff. Little grounder out to center field. Mendoza again limping into first. We have heard from our senior technology officer that he had an injury in the game that was seen prior to setting up this game. But still 2 for 2 this game. So not a lot of defensive adjustments. Playing it still straight up. 3 outfielders. Center field in a little bit. This is LeClaire again.
Line to single to left his last at bat, but Sean can go anywhere on the field.
Rips one just over the 5.5 hold. Left fielder over to get it. Day again running for Mendoza. Makes it over to third. First and third with nobody down here in the top of the third. LeClaire, another person years ago with a leg injury from sliding into second. Had to take some time off to heal that.
Pretty gruesome one out in Palm Springs.
High fly ball. Looked to the treble. Lands fair. Left fielder couldn't get there. That's going to score O'Day for Mendoza. LeClaire to second, and Bowers to first with a base hit.
Joel, are you going to let me put that in my book as a duck snort?
You may put that in your book as a duck snort. We have had duck snort, Texas Leaguer, blooper, flare. Definitely not a Baltimore chop.
For those who don't know, a duck snort is sort of like a dying quail of a ball that just kind of floats out there. No chance for anybody, the infielder, to go back on it or the outfielder to come in on it.
As long as I can say it looks like a line drive in the scorebook.
Pineda showing some patience here. When I've pitched against him, he seems to swing at everything, so good for him.
Yeah, learns a little patience. So here comes the pitch. Up the middle. LeClaire is going to come around and score. Ball does come into the catcher. That's going to get Bowers over to third. Pineda at first after an RBI single. So Pineda, as well as the final batter in the lineup, Meyer, both players who used to play and took a little time and then came back. We talked about some of the progression of the Vengeance team. The Outlaws also at one point, many of them became the Firestorm, who took third in the World Series in Austin. Pineda and Meyer both part of that team. One of the, other than Masters, most recent medals that we had from San Diego at the Naga World Series.
That Firestorm trip to Austin, I missed a rainstorm apparently.
And Bowers comes around to score on a single by Rico Garcia. And yes, that was an odd tournament. I did not go, but I saw it was one of the first times actually coverage was done. It was more done by phone, but we were happy to be able to see people taking shots for us back here. Watched a lot of that game, but many of the games in Austin were what they call one-pitch games. Bishop takes an illegal pitch. So for one-pitch games, the batter gets one pitch. It's either a ball is a walk, a strike is a strikeout, and a ball in play gets played. High fly ball to left field. Left fielder under it, makes the catch for the first out in the inning.
Once again this inning, most of these hits have been right up the middle, and they're just, again, in softball, really hard to defend unless you are willing to commit to putting one of your infielders up the, you got to have a tremendous amount of range to do that. It's just not done that very often, and Vengeance being smart, you know, you had to hit it up the middle. That's going to score against any team.
That's an illegal pitch. It is. In this league, we do not play with what's called a box. There are leagues that play with a rule where a hard hit ball up the middle is an automatic out. Strike on the inside quarter. We do not do that, but you will see a lot more and more pitchers wearing masks these days. I wear one myself. This pitcher does. Roman still does not.
I pitched in the B division for 5-6 years, and I probably should have.
That one up the middle, caught. Looking for a play to catch one of these runners off the base, but couldn't quite get one. That's going to be the second out, however, on the liner to the pitcher. Some players have actually asked us to use a box in the AFCSL, but I'm afraid it might be good for some safety, but I'm afraid it would make us dangerously uncompetitive at tournaments. Ball lands in front of the center fielder. Everybody moves up a base on the single, because if we played that way here, the center being such a good place to hit it, if we train people not to hit it, I think we would be giving up something at tournaments.
I'd agree with that.
Turning over the lineup, back to the leadoff hitter, David Lewis. If the base is loaded.
There's the David Lewis I remember.
Hits one just past the first baseman. Looks like that's going to score two and take Meyer to third. That's 5 runs in the inning, so the score is, I believe, 11-1 in favor of Vengeance, with 2 down and 2 on in the top of the third. Day at the plate for his third at bat of the morning. Takes a pitch inside.
Adam on our team consistently led the team in walks. It was unbelievable. I think 2 years ago he had something like 18 walks on the season. It was, the guy knows not to swing at bad pitches.
Swings at that one and rips it through the 5.5 hole. That's going to score Meyer. Ball gets through a little bit out there. Lewis is going to make it to third, Day to second. Another run in, 12-1 in favor of the Vengeance.
Keith Berglund here, you got to think he's due. He's flown out to right field and to center field, and he's a heck of a hitter.
Takes a little outside pitch, curving, not going to get there. Goes past the right fielder. Berglund coming around to at least second. Might stretch this into a triple. Lewis and Day in for 2 more runs. Berglund actually coming all the way around. That is going to be a 3-run home run. Nice piece of hitting, which is 9 runs in the inning. The Vengeance have now batted around because Mendoza's coming back up to the plate, so the score is now going to be 15-1 in favor of Vengeance. Deep fly ball from Mendoza. Center fielder going back, stays in the park. Mendoza limping down the first base line again. Late decision to try to throw over there. Still gets the single in time on that deep fly ball. 88 for 25. That is Brian Burnett coming in for Anthony Pineda.
For Mendoza.
Or for Mendoza, sorry. For Mendoza.
Interesting choice there with the score of the game. I thought they might have sent up a pinch hitter for Mendoza since he's hurt, but no harm, no foul.
Center fielder over to catch Leclerc's fly ball for the last out of the inning. Again, 9 runs in, so 15-1 in favor of the Vengeance as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. So what you're watching in AFCSL softball is from the Open Division. In the Open Division, anyone can play. We also have what is called the Women's Plus Division, where anyone but cisgender males can play. And that group nationally is led by Asana. And we invite you to join us for the 2023 Asana World Softball Series, September 4th to 10th, right here in San Diego. The Asana World Series makes its return to America's finest city as we host for an unprecedented 4th time. Come be part of the action. Visit Asana Series, that's ASANA series.org for more information. Of course, you can like and subscribe to Asana's social media platforms to watch our free live streams or some of your favorite teams. Check out Asana on Facebook and YouTube and smash that like button.
So with the score 15-1 here, as a manager, if you're on the wrong side of that score, you start thinking about potential for run rule situations.
Robert throws one a second. Oh, comes out of the hand of the shortstop, so he is going to be safe at first. Might have been anyway. Very fast runner. So tell us more about the mercy rule.
So the mercy rule, after 3 innings, if a team is winning by 20 runs, that's your ball game. After 4 innings, it's 15 runs. After 5 innings, it's 10. So with the 15-1 lead right now, really, Brokeback Bears here just want to tack on some runs to give themselves some room to. If you're going to make a comeback, you're going to need a little bit now, and you're not going to get all in 1 inning.
Nice play by the second baseman. Gets it off the ground, gets the speedy runner going to second. Safe at first base, so fielder's choice, 1 out, but the hitter on base at first.
It's David Lewis over there at second base. Typically played outfield for us in the B division, but can play anywhere, as you can see, and I'm hearing that he's been mostly an infielder this year.
Nice hit out to left field, takes a weird hop. Left fielder still able to make the play, and we're going to have first and second. So a little bit about these Brokeback Bears. This is a clinic team, which means many of the players, I believe all of them actually on this particular team, are from the clinics that start for new players at the beginning of the year. And some of them were very clearly players who needed to be in this division. A few were on the borderline of C and D, but chose to play so that we could have one more C team. Slow grounder. Not able to get a tag, so there's an out at first. The runners move up. It's going to be second and third with 2 down for the number 5 batter.
Nice play by Leclerc there to charge that ball, knowing there's no point in trying to make a tough play. Just get the out, especially with a lead like this. Outs are gold.
That pitch illegally high and lands short, so ball 2.
As some umpires might have said, that ball was completely short, young man.
Little place hit over to trying to get in that gap, but fielded by the second baseman for the 3rd out. 4-3 on the putout. And the score will stay 15-1 going into the top of the 4th. So going back to those mercy rules, right now up by 14, would need to be up by 15 at the end of the inning. So the Bears will get their second half of the 4th no matter what happens here.
That's right. If you're Vengeance, you're obviously looking to tack on a couple here to put potential run rule in play.
We talked a little bit about the divisions earlier. So, Jeff, you coached in the B division and played in the B division for years. That is the highest level we have had in San Diego for a while. Those are players who, are better, tend to hit the ball harder, tend to be able to field better. C division is the next, and then D used to be the lowest division. It is the lowest division we have at AFCSL, but there is now an E division for Naga, which is the national league. But some of these players from the Brokeback Bears may end up being D players next year, and we really, like you said, it's sort of sad not to be able to have that level of B softball anymore. We certainly want to maintain C softball, so we were very happy that many of these players stepped up this year to play in the C division.
Yeah, hats off to them and their positive spirit. I mean, I know it's been a tough season, but hats off to them. It's like they're having a lot of fun out there, and I can say they got some great uniforms.
They do have some great uniforms. They put those together. That was a foul ball by Bowers, so 1-2. Takes a pitch over the outside corner out into center field. Looks like he's going to get under it, moving a little bit, and center fielder makes the out.
Nice job calling off his teammates out there. You can hear that from here.
Pitch hits the plate, so 2-1 now to Pineda.
Pineda's got a couple RBI singles back up the middle.
Ball to the second baseman, bobbled a little bit on a tough hop. Pineda gets into first. Might have been a tough play. Pineda known for years for his speed.
Yeah, and that second baseman is understandably playing a little deep out there just to get some more coverage for the outfield, and it might have been a tough play to be able to throw Anthony out from there.
That'll bring up Rigo Garcia with 1 on and 1 out. Hits the plate for a ball.
Interesting foot placement there. He had his back right foot halfway across the line. And in softball, your foot can do that when you make contact as long as it's not all the way outside of the box.
Inside corner for a strike. So we are sort of sitting elevated above the field today, but some of our friends, including Hall of Famer George Biaggi, AFCSL Hall of Famer and Naga Hall of Famer, waving to us from down at field level. That's going to go 1-3 on the put out, runner to second. Also one of my teammates from the Over the Limit team sponsored by The Loft, Matt Daly. Bishop with a fly to the shortstop makes the play for the third out of the inning, so they hold the Vengeance. Will be 15-1 going into the top of the fourth inning. That's only 14 runs ahead, so unless the Vengeance just score 15 runs, we will be having a fifth inning.
You know, if Brokeback comes back and scores 15 here, that might be ball game with time being 50-minute games.
With timing of 50-minute games, it would be quite an impressive ending. We mentioned that Naga is the national organization that AFCSL belongs to for the Open Division. This year's Naga Gay Softball World Series will be Light Up the North as teams from across North America head to Minneapolis. More than 220 teams are expected across 7 divisions, all competing for the right to be called world champion. The fun starts Monday, August 28th and wraps up with the championship Saturday on September 2nd. We will have games from Friday Night Lights and Championship Saturday on Naga's social media channels, so make sure to like and subscribe to their Facebook and YouTube. Visit lightupthenorth.org for more info. So Light Up the North going to be in Minneapolis. First pitch. Excited to be in Minneapolis in August and early September. Winter meetings in Minneapolis in January were not so much fun. Ball inside. Liner out into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. How many World Series have you been to, Jeff Pratt?
Oh my goodness. I believe I've been to 8. Not done playing yet. I did take this season off for the first time since I was basically born, I believe. So it's been a nice spring off, but I'm ready to get back at it next season.
One on, up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Staying at second, so first and second. So my first season in AFCSL was in 2007, and I believe you were already coaching 2 teams and playing by that point.
Not quite at that point, but pretty close. 2009 is when I started coaching a D team with Roman Jimenez, who's out on the mound right now. We both coached the Baja Betties Sin Nombre for a couple of seasons.
High fly ball, might hit a spot. Let's see. Oh, tough job for the runner there. Didn't know if it was going to get caught or not, so kind of hung out in no man's land between first and second. He's going to get thrown out at second. Not much he could do about that one, so we're going to have first and third with 1 down.
Yeah, that's nothing you can do about that, especially with as shallow as the outfielders playing. You got to believe that he can catch that.
Hit into the 5.5 hole, which we are going to say every time it goes there in honor of the great Tony Gwynn.
Great piece of hitting there. You know, some really good at-bats in this. The leadoff hitter, Jeff, whose name is, I'm going to call him Jeff because it's a great name, took a couple pitches. When you're down 15-1, it's a lot easier just to kind of hack away because you think, well, whatever. But he took some pitches and then lined a single on a 3-1 count, and that the ball that was the force play at second could have easily been a single. It's good to see this rally here. We've got a big hitter coming up.
Robert takes one out into left center field. Had it for a second, but dropped. It was a long run to get there. Runners moving around.
There's got to be a story about that. They're yelling, tag the plate.
Tag the plate. There's a story there, but that one, we on Cloud Sports Network are absolutely going to call that a single from the long run that I believe it was Pineda was trying to make. Looked like somebody from the Vengeance outfield is coming up a little gimpy.
That's Anthony.
I think that's Anthony Pineda. He might have landed on something bad. Burnett, who had subbed in for Mendoza, is going over to third, which is going to send, I think, LeClaire out to left center. So 2 runs in, 1 down, and first and second for the Brokeback Bears. Now it's 15-3. Tito with a roller to short. Over to second for 1, not going to be in time. And runner to third. Beat the tag on that play, so we're going to have first and third.
That's a good play, not only by Adam, but by David Lewis at second base to be there, because there's a ball he's charging, and Adam threw across his body to get that force to second base.
Tito using a runner. Yeah, there seems to be some discussion. I'm a little surprised they're not using the speedy leadoff hitter. 2 down, 2 in. Ball outside and maybe a little bit short there, 2-1. Another ball to the shortstop, over to second for the out. So that'll be 2 in for the Bears. Score now 15-3 going into the top of the 5th.
This will be the final inning. The umpires indicated there are 3 minutes remaining, so
in the league, no games start after 50 minutes have elapsed, so hard to get a whole inning in 3 minutes, so I agree with you.
Well, this is the top of the 5th inning, so both teams will have a chance to bat, barring a unlikely scenario where the Brokeback Bears exactly ties them. Then this will be the final one.
This will be always one way to make it longer. Jimenez will be leading off the 5th inning.
Roman had a strikeout on a foul ball and a line drive to the mound last time. What do you think, Joel? Is he going to go to right field here, finally?
I will take the 5.5 hold on this one.
All right. Watch him go right up the middle.
Looks like it's going to be the third baseman. Tough hop there for the first baseman, so Roman is going to be safe at first. And we were wrong, not even in the way we thought we would be.
Shout out to Roman for all the years we spent. I played for him in the B division. He played for me in the B division last year at a tournament, or 2 years ago it was. We coached Baja Betties together for a couple of seasons, finishing 9th and 5th respectively in the World Series. He's been commissioner of the league for a long time, a couple times, and done so much for this league. Good man.
Little fly ball. Looks like our at least third duck snort of the day. There's a runner in for Jimenez, so that is Rico Garcia out on second running for Jimenez, and a hit by Meyer moves him over to second. Like we mentioned for George Biaggi, Roman Jimenez is also a member of both the AFCSL and Naga Halls of Fame. And that's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Lewis, for his 4th at-bat. Goes well to the right foul. Ball caught up in the netting. We're going to get a new ball here from the umpire.
You mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Michael Meyer had stepped away from the game, and it's good to see him out playing again. I haven't seen him play this year, and he's 3 for 3.
Lewis with a nice shot to right field. Looks like that's going to score Garcia. Again, if you're scoring, Garcia was running for Jimenez. Meyer in under the tag, advancing to third on the overthrow. And Lewis wisely follows into second base.
It's a big key in softball, especially at the lower levels, is taking advantage of extra bases when you can. And as you may recall, in D, when I was coaching our team, I was very aggressive on the base coaching level, sending people as often as possible.
Day with a rips one up the middle. That's going to score at least one. Meyer's coming around. Lewis hustling around. Pitcher's going to cut off the throw. That's going to be 3 runs in. Total 2 score as RBIs on the single by Day, who remains at first. Absolutely remember that. I'm sure you will remember one of my friends and great players, Greg Nelson, speedy young man, scored once from second on an infield pop-up at your coaching.
Oh, yes.
Berglund rips one up the middle. Center field will over to get the ball. Comes in quickly, going to hold it second. Now first and second with 3 and a nobody down. Vengeance rolling here in the 5th inning.
Oh, look, another Hall of Famer.
Another Hall of Famer, Brian Burnett, longtime coach. Coached that Firestorm team that took third in Austin for his first at bat.
I think Brian will be the first to tell you that was not a Hall of Fame swing. We can laugh about that. We're good friends. He's a guy who played on my B team and actually had the highest batting average on the team the year we played. Unfortunately, it was the COVID season and it was just 1 week, but he will tell you that he won a B batting title that year.
I am not surprised. I did not know anybody kept stats for that 1 week season we had, but
He went 6 for 6, so hats off to him.
it's an illegal pitch to Leclerc. So 1 down, 3 in, 2 on. Goes to third, can't beat the runner to the bag, but does make the play at first. So the runners advance, second and third, 2 down, 3 in. That's going to bring up Bowers for his 4th at bat, 2 hits and a fly ball to center field. Burnett, longtime coach, manager, co-coach, whatever, with Randy Miller of that Outlaws team, and then the Firestorm. Another ball to center field. He's under it, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So 3 in. Score I have now is 18-3 in favor of Vengeance. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Bears need to get something going here to get ahead or tie this up. Again, we'll take the little time at the changeover here to remind you that this morning's game is brought to you by Gilead, makers of the PrEP medication Descovy. Thanks to a generous contribution from Gilead earlier this year, the AFCSL has launched a new page on our website to celebrate the lives of those in our league that were cut short due to the AIDS pandemic. Anyone in the community is able to add to the page with photos and stories of folks who used to take the field. With this new page, we are able to reclaim our history while remembering those who paved the way. For more information, visit afcsl.org and click on In Memoriam.
Joel, I think shout-outs in order here for the manager of Brokeback, Tito, who not only has put together a team of players willing to play in the C division, and even though taking their lumps, they're having a good time and just been positive spirit for the league. But also, were you there when Tito got hurt in the first week?
I was. Yeah, Tito has been an amazing spirit this year. He was at the clinics. He wanted to get into this league and play. He ended up coaching this C team. He also helped with one of the D teams until he was injured. And I have been debating whether to do this, but I'm just going to do it, Jeff, and I'm going to tell you that I am very honored to say that Tito was elected to be the new secretary of AFCSL.
Breaking news here.
Deep fly ball over the fence. And so the cleanup hitter puts one on the board right away with the one home run that the Brokeback Bears can have. Amazing piece of hitting there. Yeah, so AFCSL had elections last week, and we did not announce them. They will be formally announced at the closing party today, but the winners and losers are aware, so the word has been spreading, so I think it's fair to give Tito one more shout-out for that as well.
Good for him, and the fact that he's actually been able to play again this year after breaking your foot earlier in the first week of the season, that's tough to come back from, man. So hats off to him, Tito.
Bouncing ball, backs up the shortstop, long throw, in time for the play at first. You yourself have been assistant commissioner, right, for a number of years?
I did. I served in that role for some years, and then I was the player ops for about 6 years, and player rep. It was an honor to serve on the board.
Little pop over to the right side, first baseman over. Berglund will make the out. 2 down, Bears down to their last out, need 14 more to keep the game alive. So, in our league, interestingly, there is an Open co-commissioner and a Women's Plus co-commissioner who have very few defined jobs other than running the Autumn Classic. The bulk of the work for the day-to-day schedule is done by the assistant commissioner and the operations team. Fly ball out to left center. LeClaire out there after the injury makes the play. That will end the game. So the teams are going to come out here, shake each other's hands for good sportspersonship, probably give each other a little cheer, which is nice to see. We had to stop doing that shortly after COVID. I'm going to remind you one more time that Gilead, the makers of PrEP's Descovy medication, are the sponsors of this first game. We thank them for their sponsorship of the game, of Cloud Sports Network, and of the new In Memoriam website for AFCSL. We will be back soon with our coverage of the second game of our triple header today, which will be the Swingers versus the Alley Cats. The Alley Cats, another team coached by Roman Jimenez.